up, everyone? It's your girl Mari with CCM Magazine. I am so excited to be back with you today. Today, I have the one and only funky ToddeFunk. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Mari? What's up, CCM Magazine? Thanks for having me today.
Oh, it's so good to have you here. There's so much to talk about, so I want to get right to it. You are like a piñata. There's just everything in there. Fashion, health, music, everything. But let's start with, we all know you as being TobyMac's bass player. So
Absolutely.
tell us about that.
Man, I've been fortunate and blessed to be a part of TobyMac in Diverse City for probably 17 years now. I came on at the tail end of the DC Talk solo tour, and I've been there from the beginning, man. And it's been quite the ride, quite the experience. And man, I'm honored and blessed to have been able to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you must be pretty good for that. And at this point, you should have my color hair.
Right. Well, you know, secrets, you know, I don't want to say too much.
Exactly. Well, I see you. I see you sipping on that lemon water and all that. You got to keep us all healthy and give us those secrets.
Absolutely.
How do you stay so healthy on the road and stuff?
Man, you know what? Okay, shameless plugs. You know, I'm a vegan now, or somewhat of a vegan. I'm not like a hardcore, you know, die by the fine minutia, but you know, I stay away from, you know, things that are bad, and I really try to eat as close to a vegan vegetarian diet as possible. And I've just recently started using isogenics, and it's really weird. It just all of a sudden I've got a friend in Oklahoma City that turned me on to the product, and I'm loving it because I've always wanted to do something more deliberate, you know, as far as my body and so forth. And so I'm actually using isogenics, and I'm loving it. And you notice
and feel the difference,
Absolutely.
Right?
It's awesome.
Awesome. Well, you look great.
Well, thank you.
And while we're on that topic, tell us about your fashion, about your style.
Oh, you know what, man? I guess I get it. Honestly, I'm just the old funk rocker dude. You know, I mean, I love the culture of, you know, the Haight-Ashbury scene in the late '60s with Sly and the Family Stone and Jimi Hendrix. You know, Prince had his influence, and love Lenny Kravitz. He's a great cat.
I was gonna say we have to address the elephant in the
Absolutely.
room. I mean, if Lenny Kravitz and, you know, Prince got together, you would be, you know, you'd be that, man.
Oh,
we put those two together.
Yeah, and so those cats have been influential, and you know, and I do what I can with what I have, and it's just my expression, you know.
Yes.
I'm you know the afro, and you know, it's all me, you know. It's just that you know, it's just me, you know. I vibe that. Yeah. Well, thank you.
And that's okay. I love it that you can be in the Christian industry, or you can just be in the industry and just be you. I love that you're not afraid to step out and just be like, hey, this is how I am, and I look dope doing it. So I'm cool with that. I ain't mad at it, CCM.
She said that.
So also, you are working on an amazing music project, and I had the honor to sit in and write with you yesterday.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because we want to hear you, what you're working on.
Yeah, ToddeFunk and World Without End. It's you know, I've always wanted to do my own music. You know, I've always wanted to do that. My brother and I, we played, you know, as siblings and young adults, you know, touring Asia and Japan and coming back to the States. And, you know, I've always wanted to have a band, you know. As kids, we grew up seeing the bands, you know, great R&B and funk bands, which are non-existent these days. But you've got, you know, like our situation, you know, in the CCM industry, you know, TobyMac in Diverse City. You've got cats like Bruno Mars and those guys bringing back a band aesthetic. And so I've always been a product of the band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Prince and the Revolution, the Time, you know, all of that's the Earth, Wind and Fire, Sly and the Family Stone. So that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I've always had a passion for band-oriented music, you know, because I'm a part of a rhythm section, but at the same time, I want to make sure that we don't miss anybody lyrically. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you? Because you do work with Toby, so you're still gonna have time for your own project. Would you still tour with him and then also tour on your own?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I do as much as I can when we have downtime. Hence, you and I riding yesterday.
Yes.
And
on
you know,
and it was amazing.
yeah.
To hear it.
Oh my my gosh, and doing what I can outside of TobyMac. And I think that's kind of the hustle of Diverse City. You see DJ Madge, doing this thing. You see B. Haley doing this thing. We all know Byron Chambers, Mr. Talkbox, what I mean? He's just, on a whole nother level now, but, he's since gone, just like Sean Locke and even Nerva, Nerva Door Saint sings with her husband, Seth and Nerva. So we've always, everybody's always had their hustle, and I'm going to maintain my hustle with inside the TobyMac umbrella. So you'll continue to see me.
You want to stand under that umbrella.
Absolutely.
It's not just an umbrella, it's an anointing too.
Yes,
you guys are family, you're diverse, but there's just such unity and strength, and a lot of people look at that and admire
absolutely.
It, so.
And I tell Toby, I'm going to be there till the wheels fall off, and thank goodness they're not falling off anytime soon.
No, not at all. Especially since you're sticking to that regimen.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So what's one thing about you that nobody knows about you, not even the band, that you can share with CCM?
That I am a train freak.
A train freak.
I love trains.
Okay, that is really random.
Trains.
Expand on that just a little.
Freight trains, logger trains, commuter trains. It's something about the tracks and the way the trains ride on the tracks. Especially, when we were in Germany, I got envious because of the way that they have so meticulously incorporated the rail system into their motorways.
Yeah.
And the roads are flawless.
Okay.
And you come back to Nashville and drive on 440 and you're going, oh my God, what is this?
Well, come to New York City, you might change your mind about the trains, especially because down there are cats, which are also, you could say that with an R, rats.
Uh-oh.
They're that big, and you might change your mind about the trains.
Yeah,
but it's still awesome. It's still got that city vibe.
Absolutely. Well, that's my one little tidbit for you.
Amazing. And so, tell us also about your faith, about your walk. What is your relationship like with the Lord, and how do you maintain that and keep that? Because you're mainstream, you're global, you're Christian, you're all that, but you don't lose yourself within that, and that's beautiful.
Right, because I try to be in this world, but not of it as much as possible, and I'm learning ways to really live that out, every day. The more I find out who I am, in Yahushua, the more I can do that. I can exude that, just from my very being. I don't have to try to do it. I just become that, And so it's just about continuing to go deeper in Him, asking the questions that I never thought I would ask before, and dare to, question.
Yes.
And read things. I've become a student lately. Of the Bible and just reading and not even just reading the Bible, but other sources that verify the Bible. So it's just, man, it's a continual journey, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Mm-hmm.
You've been on a journey, like even your musical journey. So what can you tell our listeners, our viewers, those that want to be maybe in the music industry, and that you started from the bottom, now we're here, so you've kind of like rode that train up,
man?
What's that process like for you? What do you think, how can you encourage them?
I had some friends that I was watching years ago playing with some of the biggest artists, mainstream artists of our day, Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson. These are friends of mine, cats that I know, high school age on up, watching them just do it.
Yeah.
And, and every time I'd go to a show, I would just be like, dang. And one day, one of the brothers said to me, man, I could see in your eyes. You was like, man, I wish I was up there. Yeah, and, we kind of laughed because that's the truth.
Yeah.
And I'll just go ahead and say his name on the camera. My boy Derek Organ, he's an awesome drummer. He told me, he said, man, just continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I remember that day in Austin, Texas, he came over to the house and just looked around and told me that I was successful. Already, the father of a young family, and then pursuing my music and just knowing that, after talking, I had the drive and determination just to stay with it. Yes. And he said, man, and it's funny because at that time, that's not what I wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody ever does.
I was looking for the hookup and not understanding as a young person what that really means and all that.
Exactly.
You know the hookup or whatever.
The homie hookup.
Right. So it's like, but he just told me, he said, man, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
And so in that meant keep practicing, keep playing as much as possible, keep looking for opportunities.
Yes.
Don't stop. keep your relationship with the Most High. All of that, was all encompassed in what he said, and that's what I didn't realize when he said it.
Exactly.
You
and I
know?
love that you just shared with us the in that, because most people be like, you do you keep going, but we need to hear what's the solution in the meantime, in the process, in the waiting. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Man, you are super funky.
Well,
you hold your name. You hold your own, boo.
Well, I think TobyMac is responsible for that. I'll never forget, and it just came off the cuff. We were doing a show, and I mean this was early on, and he just and the band was taking solos, and he just turned around and introduced me. He just looked over. I think he was over his left shoulder and just pointed to me and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, ToddeFunk." And I looked at him. I was like, "Yeah,
that.
Yeah, that's absolutely what happened."
Good
and
on you, Toby.
Yeah, and it's been the vibe ever since, man.
Nice. Well, welcome to CCM. We love having you here. Guys, you're going to hear so much more from Toddy. You're going to see so much more from his fashion. Guys, we're going to come help some of you all dress for the Devil Awards, okay? Ladies, I got you. Guys, you know who to call. All right? So stay tuned. We got so much more for you. Ciao.